All right, here we are, August 17th, 2012, and I'm being, again, forced to move, and I got a little comment here. This morning on the news, this is a very short video because I got to get back to work. On the news, talk about irony and total hypocriticism at the highest level. On the news, they were talking about some 3 girls that were protesting, you know, freedom of art, freedom of speech, and somebody made a comment about my videos saying, you know, well, you should be glad, at least you could say you hate America here. I'm going, you don't understand. In America, they don't do what they do to you in Russia, to those 3 girls, jail you since February because they did this protest inside of a church. You know what the real story is? At least there, you know, they let you know who they are and who's inhibiting the kind of protest that's going on. Here, they inhibit you in a alternative way, in an abstract way, like the way I've been attacked. I don't see Paul McCartney make some statement on Twitter. Oh, of course, the news media reports that. Oh, and we should be proud of them, and people support them, and they should be freed, and all that kind of stuff. And to promote free art, free speech. You know, Paul McCartney hasn't said anything about me. I've got more than 300 videos talking about how my rights have been violated here in the United States, and the FBI won't investigate building and safety, and the LAPD, and when they do investigate, it's all covered over because they're all palsy-walsy. Oh no, no. This is about something far, far, far worse. America's worse than Russia because they kick you under the table. They screw you over the way I've been screwed over for decades. They ruin your dreams, your goals, everything that you work for. And what you see in that truck, so what? You know, they trapped me here. Took my motorhomes, my cars, my boats, everything I had planned to move to Colorado in is gone. Except for all this stuff. And yeah, right, where do I move? It's just, the only reason I do this now is because nothing really has value anymore. They took my guitars, all my most expensive stuff. Tom Petty has his Rickenbacker stolen. Oh, but because he's Tom Petty, oh wow, you know, they make a big deal on the media and they report it. They don't report anything about me in the media, and if they do, they will censor it and edit it in such a way to make me look like a crazy person because I rant and rave all the time. No, I know their game. See, this is why they're doing what they're doing to me. The censorship, the limited exposure to international knowledge. I'm one of the most worst abused people sitting here in a country that claims that everybody wants to come to because they think it's free. It isn't. If you have an odd lifestyle and you're a scientist like me and people can't understand you because you're just so far ahead of them, they just don't get it. So and if this government can't buy you like a whore so that you're working for them, they'll do exactly what they did to me over the last 2 decades. Take my cars, my boats, interfere, impede, directly interfere in every bit of work that I have done to move towards a greater challenge, a greater situation, a greater end result. No, I didn't get to enjoy the fruits of my labor, but yet they're talking real big about these girls who got, you know, jailed in Russia because they were with masks on, and then they show one of the girls, the media showing her going, bravo, while she's got handcuffs on, bravo. Hey, well, I hope you like jail, lady. I mean, this is, every time I see that flag, I want to spit on it. I want it destroyed because it doesn't really represent what those guys died for in Arlington Cemetery when they were fighting Adolf Hitler. I've been treated worse than Adolf Hitler. He gets more news, even as a history buff, he gets more news than I could ever get. And I didn't burn 1 million Jews or gas 1 million Jews. He did. He shouldn't get any publicity at all. His name should be struck out in the history books. That's what the CIA, where they should do their censoring. They should black out the lines of Adolf Hitler so that nobody knows he ever even existed. So yeah, here I am, moving again. And it's not as hot today. It was really hot yesterday. I've lost a set of keys, so I don't know where these keys are. So that's going to slow me down from moving out of here, because this truck is only being loaned temporarily, and I got to get all this stuff moved before the 21st, because they're going to have an auction. What I don't have moved, I guess they'll auction off or whatever. At least I'm being given the opportunity to move the stuff just to another place where I'll live under the threat. Hell, I was trapped here by the very same city officials. Trapped me here instead of helping me leave Los Angeles. If they didn't like me all that much, and they don't, well then fine. Give me the money and I'll leave. I would have left 20 years ago. No, they wanted to take every possession from me. They wanted to treat me and punish me worse than they could have had any kind of punishment for Adolf Hitler. I think if Adolf Hitler, if I could change places with him, I'd be dead with a bullet in my head, and he'd be going through all this crap, wondering, oh, wow, blah, 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 and look at this, and I'm being tortured. Because that's what pure society has done to me. And I don't see the media publicizing anything. All they publicize is well-groomed propaganda news. That's all they give you. Not one of them are going to tell you the truth. And certainly Obama and Romney and Ryan and Biden aren't going to meet me on any stage so I can wipe the stage clean with them. Because neither one of them deserve to be president or leader of anything. Because you have a dual dictatorship, Democrat-Republican, Democrat-Republican. None of them deserve. And I won't talk about my blueprint, because why should I? You're not listening to me anyway. And even if you were, I can't divulge certain sections of the blueprints, because divulging plans of what you're going to do, which you may or may not be able to do once you get elected, might have an effect on the economy, because then people start, especially people with money, start rearranging how they approach their financial investments. So there are a lot of things that I have to be careful about how I talk about my blueprints, because if the plans have an end result where it benefits the majority of everybody, let's say 99% of the population, but if I talk about the blueprint, let's say 6 months before I even get elected into any powerful position, then they will arrange and change their plans, and therefore possibly interfere in whatever blueprint that I may have planned for the future. That's why I talk about these politicians needing sequential order programs, which is kind of like what they have, but they're not doing a good enough job, because if they were, employment would be a lot better. It isn't the government's job to get you jobs, but it is the government's job to keep the, what would I call it? To try to support some of the businesses. And here they are trying to say they're going to support middle class and the businesses, but nobody supported me. Nobody supported me to get the hell out of here. No one's coming here with a big huge semi saying, hey, Cesar, we're sorry that this happened to you, and we know that we can't undo it, but we're going to try. Not even one person has tried. In 3 years that I've been on YouTube, and no one just, you don't care. Oh, you want to make contact. Oh, what can you do? That doesn't do anything. How many minutes are we into? I think I'll stop at 10 minutes this time. It's 8 minutes, and it's getting hot out here, and I have to continue loading this truck all by myself. I have to unload 2 more storages. They're not as full as this one. And I hadn't planned to move at all. It was a very, very big misunderstanding here. And regardless of what the opposing side will say, it was a very big misunderstanding on their fault, not on mine. And yeah, I may have been short on money 1 month, but that's not an excuse to do all this. See, people are hurting. And what kind of help do I have? I asked them, actually, could they help me find a warehouse? I can pay the rent. I just need to get into a warehouse where someone is willing to negotiate, willing to work with me. But no, none of them are. They're procedural fanatics. They care more about procedures than they care about getting the rent every month from somebody who has some kind of monetary stability to give them the rent every month. No, they don't want to do that. If one tiny procedure, like I said in my tape yesterday or day before, they'll trip over a $1,000 bill just to pick up a penny or a dime. They're cuckoo. This whole city is wacko. They rather destroy a person than to help them move out. And that's where your real problems are. So, but that's pretty much what I wanted to say for today. It doesn't do any good. There are people out there trying to figure out what my predictions are. You're never going to figure it out. You'll figure it out after it happens. Then you'll be able to superimpose, applying your superimposing situation that has already happened over some of the things I've said in the past. So I guess I'll sign off now and upload this. I don't know. It's like 11:15 on the 17th on California Daylight Savings Time. I don't know, maybe a little later today, maybe around 2 or 3 I might be able to upload it. I got to go somewhere in order to upload this properly. I can't do live YouTube takings anymore because it's almost impossible. I can't get through. Something's going on with YouTube. All right, talk to you later.